Hey, this is Justin from breakingtocre.com, and in today's video, we're going to talk about what to do after a commercial real estate interview. So if you've already gone through the interview process or you have the interview process coming up and you want to make sure that you do the right follow-up after your interview is complete, make sure to stick around for this video. Now, if you're new here on this channel, we talk about real estate investing careers and real estate financial analysis. So if you're looking to break into the industry or advance your current real estate investment career, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. So I've talked a lot on this channel about what to do leading up to an interview and during an interview, but I've been getting a lot of questions lately around what to do after an interview and how do you actually follow up. And the time after you interview is also important in the process, and there are a few things that you can do to maximize your chances of success. So the first thing that you can do is the simplest and most straightforward, and that is to send a thank you note to everyone that interviewed you on that day. Now, I usually recommend sending this the morning after you interview, and this doesn't have to be long and detailed. This also doesn't need to mean that you need to send detailed and individualized notes to every single person, especially in real estate, where you can sometimes be interviewed by half a dozen people or more in a single day. So if you interviewed with 2 analysts and 1 associate and your hiring manager directly, you might want to send 1 email to those analysts and the associate and another email to your hiring manager, and keep these notes short and sweet. I've never heard of anyone landing a job specifically because of a killer thank you note, but it is possible to say the wrong thing here and potentially rub someone the wrong way even after a solid interview day. So within this thank you note, I always recommend 3 lines. Thank you for having me at your office. It was great to learn about the role, and I hope to have the opportunity to join the team soon. Now, obviously, you'd add your own specific details about what you discussed and what you learned on that day, but there's no need to get overly wordy or detailed with this. A thank you note is something that you need to send, but it doesn't need to be long-winded or drawn out. Now, aside from the thank you note, the second thing that I recommend is to write down all of the key points of the interview after you get out of the office or the second that you get back home. This can be in a free writing format or a bullet point list, but the goal is to memorialize how you felt in that moment on that day. This will help you organize your thoughts and your gut feel about the company and the role, the people that you interviewed with, and how that role fits into your overall career trajectory. This will also help you make a list of questions you want to ask for the next round of interviews or if the company extends you an offer. Now, this step might seem trivial, but especially if you don't hear back from the company for several weeks or even a month before you receive an offer, you're going to want to have notes that you can refer back to on how you felt and also the questions that you wanted to ask to make sure they don't slip your mind when you really need to ask them. It's also really easy to romanticize a role over time, especially when you've had a few bad days at work after your interview. So by writing down how you felt in the moment, whether it was good or bad, you're going to be able to go back to that and make a level-headed decision when you receive an offer and have to decide if you want to accept or reject. And finally, speaking of landing a job offer, use this time now after you interview to start the due diligence process to decide if you were extended an offer, if you'd want to take the role. This can involve talking to others who have worked for the company in the past, or maybe other real estate professionals who know people that work at that company. I would also recommend discussing this with a general mentor in the real estate space who has done what you're looking to do and can analyze this career move and give you a better sense if this is going to take you where you want to go. This is especially important if you're looking to make a major switch. So if you're going from asset management to acquisitions, or you're moving from retail to multifamily, I'd strongly recommend a quick conversation with a mentor of yours just to make sure that this decision is going to take you where you want to go. Now, one thing that it's important not to do after an interview is to overthink the situation. Especially if you haven't heard back for 1 or 2 weeks, it's easy to get the urge to follow up with HR again or even with your hiring manager, but the last thing that you want to do is pester and annoy people when they haven't had the time to make a decision. Especially in bigger companies, hiring decisions often go through many different layers of approval, and interviewing many different candidates that may have a different timeline for when they can actually be present to interview can take a long time. So once you've interviewed and sent your thank you notes, it becomes a waiting game and you've done all you can do up to that point. Now, if you're in the interview process or preparing to start applying for commercial real estate roles, I have a course called How to Land a Job in Private Equity Real Estate, which goes into all of this in a lot more detail and goes into detail on how to build your resume, how to network, and how to prepare for interview day to land the job that you're looking for. and if you need to beef up your real estate financial modeling and analysis skill set before you head into the interview process and want access to all Break Into CRE courses, models, and some additional one-on-one support, make sure to check out Break Into CRE Academy, and I'll link that in the description as well. So thanks so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more content on commercial real estate interviews and what to do before, during, and after interviews, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with anyone else who might find this helpful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.